the entire showcase has been revealed for Xbox Developer Direct 2025. And my first impressions of this whole thing is that it was actually phenomenal. Really well done. I'm happy with what we were showcasing here. Like, I think it fully met expectations of what I had, at least for Developer Direct. I know there's some guys out here in the chat right here have voiced their opinions, being a little disappointed about the whole thing. But for me, I think this was like for what they were going to show, right? For what we knew and what they ended up surprising us with. Would I say 10 out of 10? Dare I go 10 out of 10? Am I just in the moment being a complete fanboy right now? Well, what would you expect? So like we knew we were gonna see Doom, we were gonna see South of Midnight, we were gonna see Expedition 33, and then we ended up getting Ninja Gaiden 4 and the remake, which were just like jaw-droppingly awesome. I think maybe that hype kind of builds it up a little bit more. Maybe for me, we were gonna know more about these games. And what did we get? We got exactly that. For what we knew what was gonna happen, for what these games that we're gonna see right here, yeah, that's exactly how you do it, man. I was just kind of shocked that they actually went into the mystery game right off the rip. Like, come on, man, what about your retention rate? Have you not made a YouTube video before? You save the best for the last, right? To keep people watching. Yeah, they closed off with Doom, which is like, yeah, people are gonna stay and watch Doom, which makes a lot of sense. I think the way they formatted it was really worked out really well. That each game did have a chance to really kind of shine, be showcased, go into the individual systems of what makes this game good, what goes into the gameplay, talk about the characters, talk about the story, like a little bit peek behind the curtains about like, what are these games about? You know, why should I play them? And I think that this is informative, not overbearing. It really did a great job of showcasing the games as well. We got gameplay of every single game, you know, some more or less than others, but for the most part, that's what we got. Fully met my expectations, right? And they even had like a little surprise, like all these Xbox Direct, Developer Directs usually have, right? Usually have, like the last 2 years, there was like the and more kind of thing. And we got that with the Ninja Gaiden 2 Black remake, which is amazing. Way to reboot a legendary franchise with new characters, new scene, new environments, but then also be like, hey, remember those good old games you played back then as well? Yeah, we're doing that too. Kind of give you a little bit of something old, a little new. And again, like I was talking about earlier in the stream, that like, you don't need these gigantic ramp ups to let people know about the games. You can just release them, let people know about it that year, give them a few months heads up, or even shadow drop it if it's a game that's like a remaster of Ninja Gaiden 2. That's a total shadow drop worthy kind of game. That's what people are gonna be jumping in and playing now. Like, it's trying to make it into something bigger than it needs to be, or like these long drawn out development reveals. Like, it's just not necessary anymore, right? And that's what makes something like, keeps the hype up, keeps people interested, right? There's only so much you can show of the game without, you know, completely spoiling it. That's one thing I think like maybe like Assassin's Creed Shadows is maybe showing off a little too much about the game, but I think there's been a lot of like nitpicky hype about that game that people have really gotten into it. They really need to see everything before they buy into it because of the inconsistency of quality that Ubisoft has had. But Xbox is pretty good quality, man. I'm fully expecting this game to play well, look good, function hopefully really well. Like, it doesn't really, it looks beautiful, but doesn't look that graphically intense, right? It looks like something on my 3080 PC could run. The biggest thing is also kind of keeping in mind about the release window for this game being 2025 this fall. It has to compete with GTA 6. And like I said earlier in the stream, there might not be that much crossover between the audience of Ninja Gaiden and GTA 6, but it's something you need to take in consideration. You can't release it within the same week, you know what I mean? That's the reason why we didn't get an actual release date compared to all the other games for the showcase. We actually got an actual release. But I think, to me, Ninja Gaiden stole the show. Well, did it? Yeah, it stole the show. I think people are going to be talking about Ninja Gaiden because we already knew about Doom. We saw more Doom, and it was awesome. But it's kind of funny with the showcase that like the next game that they showcased right afterwards, after the Ninja Gaiden 4 reveal, brand new game, and then you had the reveal of the remake, which got people even more hyped. Like, I was literally like, what? Like, well, I haven't ever played a Ninja Gaiden game, and I got super hyped about it. But it's available today? What? They're just gonna low-key drop? They're just gonna be like, oh yeah, you can play Ninja Gaiden 2 now on Game Pass. Well, I guess I know what I'm doing today then. Bro, talk about freaking hype. Oh my god. And then like no breathing room afterwards, and then we went straight into South of Midnight. And I was just like, honestly, I wasn't paying attention. Now, it could just be me not being that interested in this game. I never really was that captivated by South of Midnight, but I do think it's an interesting game. I think it's a really cool like art style, storytelling, and like the visual presentation of it is so unique. that we never really had anything like this before. But it might, I don't really see myself jumping in and playing it. I see this game, kind of talked about earlier in that previous video. I feel this game's gonna be kind of like a Lies of P kind of game, where it has like that similar kind of combat system. It'll probably be well reviewed, probably get like a 8.5s, 9s out of 10 kind of thing. But I don't really see it being like a game that really has to be like what everyone's going to be jumping in and playing. I feel like this is going to be a game that people will jump in to play if they were like, well, I want to play something new, but I don't really know what to play. And it's April, so there's not like too many crazy game releases at the time. So this is where like South of Midnight has a chance to shine. So like an April release for this type of game gives it a chance for people to actually jump in and experience and jump in and play it. So the release window they announced for it, I think is really well done. We should double check that to make sure that it actually has a good release window. What games are releasing in April? Yeah, I think April's going to be a great month for South of Midnight to release. April 8th, great time frame for this game. I think that's where it has actually a chance to get its time into the sunlight, which is perfect. I think it might just be a kind of a pass game for me. Mainly just because I'm still working my way through Stalker 2. I'm still working my way through Indiana Jones. Still working my way through Hogwarts Legacy. Still working my way through Cyberpunk 2077. But I have a feeling this will be a good game. It just might not be a game that really grabs my attention too much. K-Blade Assassin said, I didn't expect any Halo Studios announcement, so I wasn't surprised at it at all. But new Ninja Gaiden content revealed to me it was a 9 out of 10. Looking forward to this year. Like, again, like Xbox has got some games, man. Xbox got games now, right? Like, I mean, they paid a lot of money for those games, but they got games now. I think they got a promising 2025, man. Plus, if Fable does release this year, still, I mean, the rumors have it that it's going to be pushed back a little bit, but I'll have to wait and see. The next game I thought was actually really well showcased was Expedition 33, because I think the trailer that you showcased before was very CGI focused, right? Kind of was talking about earlier. We're like, yeah, CGI trailers are nice. Let you know just like art style and vibe, but you don't really know what the game is about. And this game actually, this did exactly what I needed this developer direct to do. Is like, what is Expedition 33? What's the concept of the game? What's the story? What are the mechanics behind it? What's the gameplay like? Who are these characters and stuff like that? Visually incredible. The RPG elements look pretty good, right? Like being able to, or like the skill tree elements look pretty comprehensive, not overwhelming, but rather comprehensive, where you can kind of develop things how you like. Again, like we didn't really get too much like in-depth gameplay itself, but seeing from what I saw, it actually got me more interested in the game, right? And that's the main purpose of this developer direct, is to kind of get people interested in these type of games, right? That you might not be super interested in because you're like, where's Doom, Call of Duty, where's Elder Scrolls, It's a chance to showcase like these games that are sit just below that tier, and that's what I think did a really great job. But you get a chance to actually see the people behind it, make that personal connection a little bit, I guess, But it seems like they're really focusing on like the cinematic elements of Expedition 33, right? Focusing on the characters, focusing on the story, and like the gameplay is there to kind of think also kind of help support the story, is what I feel like. It's like kind of like the priority that we got out of it, right? Whatever the main attraction of the game will be is something that you'll see the most of when it comes to these trailers. And what did we see mainly of? Story, characters, art style, vibe, that whole thing. They made it sound like, yeah, pretty standard RPG, turn-based RPG elements with a little bit of like real-time reaction. So it's kind of a nice little hybrid right there. And kind of like what I was talking about when we first saw this game, that going back to turn-based now is so wild to me as someone who played games growing up in the late 90s, early 2000s, where all those RPGs were turn-based, and now they have games like Baldur's Gate 3 bringing turn-based back. Now it's getting overplayed being in real-time combat. Turn-based is now kind of coming back a little bit, making a resurgence, just because it's so different. It changes things up. It's not the same thing every single time. Back in the early 2000s, gaming developers were so focused on getting away from turn-based because everything was turn-based. Now everything is real-time. Going back to turn-based, it's kind of a fresh breath air, but also mixing in a little bit of real-time, I think, is really cool. And they actually showcase like more than what you expected out of these games as well. I think it was a fantastic showcase for Expedition 33. I will probably give this a download, play it, and experience it, and see what this game has to offer. They announced a release date for this, right? Yeah, April 24. Another really great window. The only competition again that has is like The Last of Us on PC, but that's a remake, and then that's going to be just more to those kind of fans or people on PC like myself who've never had a chance to play it. But if it releases anything like The Last of Us 1 on PC, well, we're gonna have to wait because that game's gonna be broken as hell. But again, another April release, perfect time frame for this. wish listed today again on all the platforms you expect it. And then, yeah, dude, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about Doom. Oh my God, dude. Like during the live stream, right? I was just kind of sitting there. I was just kind of like this. I was like, and then, yeah, you know, it's like, it's Doom. It is badass turned up to 11. And that's an understatement because that's such a cliche. You had to say like 12, 15, 20, turn up to 20. Yeah, 10, you know. And they mentioned like they brought like the more of a moving tank, heavy moving tank with like the weaving of left and right being more lateral rather than vertical in the gameplay, right? Where like Eternal was very agile, high speed focus, which actually I think to me appeals to me more about being maybe more of a slower paced game, not so cracked out, which is so crazy to think about current modern FPS games nowadays that they're so focused on just trying to bombard you with movement and high tech and just trying to make you this absolutely cracked out soldier, to kind of almost take that back to more of a classic vibe, but also give you the freedom of modern gaming kind of mechanics and stuff like that. So, dude, Doom Eternal, the Doom Dark Ages, dude, was like absolutely, again, exactly what I needed to see. More in-depth kind of thing of like how the gameplay actually works out. Even saw like some little bit of cutscenes within character, but like I said earlier in this video, like what did they focus on? Gameplay, gameplay, gameplay. Kicking ass, shredding demons. That's what you're doing in Doom. That's what they're going to showcase. And so the gameplay is the big focus of Doom. And it's the big reason why you're going to jump in and play this, right? Like the story's not really there. Like it's there just to kind of give you purpose. But then you go into Doom because you just want this. You want to shred through demons, feel like an absolute battle, the most insane power trip possible for the player. And that's exactly what they delivered with this. Doom releasing in May as well. Great window for it. I know, like, I feel like I need to talk more about Doom because of how awesome it was. But like, literally, it's just like, I think this was a perfect reveal, in-depth reveal of Doom, right? You know, being able to showcase what they've been talking about for the last few months about how Doom will play out, right? In various news articles and things like that. But this was freaking awesome. The Captain America shield mechanics, like this whole thing, what was that? That's like almost like a grapple hook without having the grapple hook itself. Freaking cool, right? This is getting me so excited to play Doom. I've never even played through Doom 2016 or Eternal, but I definitely want to play this one, especially on Game Pass. Dude, you got me sold on it, really. The Xbox showcase, like overall, was just phenomenal. Like it's exactly what we need to see from Xbox for this time around. Got surprises. We had a surprise on top of the surprise. Got me hyped about playing Ninja Gaiden, which I didn't know I wanted so badly until now. But yeah, like, hell yeah, dude. They kicked ass on this reveal. Almost like June showcase quality reveal that they had for this Xbox showcase. Like 10 out of 10. I give it a 10, man. 10 out of 10. I'm hyped. I like it. It got me excited about Xbox, which is the whole point about it.